is a 2007 video game developed by Valve. Valve, of course, is famous for creating Steam, the ubiquitous gaming platform on PC. But they have also developed some highly acclaimed video games, one of which is Portal. And today we are going to be playing through the testing segment of the game. The first hour or so. And as you can see, we have awoken in this strange mechanical room. There are observation windows and cameras looking down on us. And we have been greeted by a robotic voice, which has welcomed us to the Aperture Science Enrichment Center and told us that the testing is ready to begin. Here we have a large button that opens a door over there, and a little icon seems to indicate that a cube should be placed on this button. And would you look at that? A cube. So we can haul it over there, drop it on, and there we go. These windows up above are one of the phenomenal design decisions in this game. They do a lot of things very well. The frosted glass on the windows obscures a little bit what's on the other side. And also the fact that, look at these gross pads on the elevator walls. A little old and dingy. But the windows give the sense of being watched, while at the same time also being eerily empty. So it gives you the sense that something might be wrong. You know, if you're going through this test, where are all the people who should be behind those windows watching you? So by the way, I suppose I should say this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's just a sort of perfectly crafted 2-hour experience. And I could, kind of speak to its virtues for a very long time. So I'll mostly be glazing this game and the developers. So of course, and here we have the test chamber sign. Test chamber 2. We are now in test chamber 2. So Valve has developed numerous games, as I said. Portal, Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Team Fortress 2, Half-Life Alyx. They've made, a fair handful they wait for the ever-elusive Half-Life 3. Which, who knows? Right now it sort of feels like there's more buzz than usual about a possible Half-Life 3 actually coming. I have no way of knowing. I try to just not get my hopes up. I long ago came to the conclusion that we were just never going to get Half-Life 3. And if we end up getting it at some point, then I'll just be pleasantly surprised. But I just don't think it's useful to, or I don't know, mentally healthy to constantly be anticipating something that may or may not ever even arrive. So, Portal is set in these series of test chambers, this massive facility, and you go around solving puzzles, trying to navigate the test chambers, and I'm just destroying cameras because I'm a little gremlin, I guess, I don't know. So we have this portal gun, and it allows us to connect to points in space. And so you have to use the portal gun to navigate all of the puzzles set out in front of you to get from the entrance of the test chamber to the exit. And it's not super difficult. Then again, I've been playing this thing for, almost 20 years at this point, so sort of feels like any challenge that was in the puzzles I have long been unable to experience because just sort of innately know, like, the majority of the test chambers. I think some of the later ones I know a little bit less well because I, don't always make it to the end of the game, even though it's a very short game. And the whole time that you're navigating these puzzles, you have this robotic voice speaking to you. And I'll get into spoilers here, so if you've never played the game and you're interested in going in fresh, then you can back out now, but I suppose if you've watched this far into the video, you probably don't care about spoilers. So the robotic voice is, of course, actually GLaDOS, I guess an intelligent AI, although not really an AI, more of an enhanced human mind, sort of turned into a robotic and super intelligent creation. And something that just occurred to me was that, GLaDOS is such a famous character, and it's so well known who GLaDOS is, and that she's talking to you during all of these test chambers. But it occurred I guess that would be kind of a surprise, right? Oops. Just missed the platform there. Oh, and there we are. Chell. Chell is the name of our character down there. She is the test subject that you play as in Portal 1 and 2. So, I was wondering, when the game first came out, or, if somebody who doesn't know the game or doesn't know GLaDOS played the game now for the first time with no prior knowledge, would they think that these were all pre-recorded messages just being played in the lab and not an intelligent, conscious being actually speaking to you as you go along? I like that no drinking little sign there, which is of course because the liquid in this test chamber is poisonous, deadly goop or acid or something. But yeah, that just occurred to me because that the idea of that being a twist is so it's just been such an obvious thing to me for so long, because I knew the game, because I've known the game for so long, that I kind of lost that sense of freshness, and I don't really remember it myself, because this is one of those games that I don't even really remember the first time that I played it. I mean, I kind of do, but I've just been playing it for so long that it just sort of feels like I like that oily texture they have on the acid stuff down there. I've been playing it for so long that it's hard to think of it ever being new. It's just something that's always been in my mind. So yeah, I'd be curious to show the game to a friend or somebody who's never played the game before, doesn't know the characters of the story, and see if they were surprised when GLaDOS starts reacting to you later in the game, or if it's kind of an obvious thing from the jump. But GLaDOS is, of course, a very entertaining character. Well written, well performed. Just this sort of psychopathic, science-obsessed, kooky sort of character. And then in Portal 2, the sequel, GLaDOS' backstory and Aperture Science's backstory is kind of fleshed out a lot more. But we don't have to get into all that here. This is the beginning of the adventure. Test Chamber 10. The test chambers get significantly longer as you go along, so we've cleared 10 test chambers in or I guess 9, we're just getting into the 10th. In what's it been, 10, 15 minutes. The last, 5 or 6 test chambers get substantially longer. So this is where you learn about the conservation of momentum. You go flying at high speeds through a portal. As GLaDOS says here, in layman's terms, speedy thing go in, speedy thing come out. chestnut, that little internet debate, I suppose, about if you had a portal on a platform and then swung that platform really fast into somebody, would they go flying out the other side? And my understanding is they probably would go flying out at high speeds, as if they had jumped through regularly. Yeah, so here is the chamber where we finally get access to the orange portal. So far, we've just been using the blue portal and waiting for the orange portal to appear in various places. And there in the center is the other portal gun. And we just wait for it to turn around and shoot its portals till we can get to the destination. This beginning is a little tedious on replays of the game, in my opinion, because you just want to get to the part where you have access to both portals as soon as possible. For me, anyways, that's the exciting part. So we pop out here, and there we go. Here we go to the fully functional portal gun. And there it is in all its glory. It's kind of funny. We already have a portal gun, and then we walk into this one and pick it up, and it just kind of, I don't know, merges with ours or something. It's not really explained. Not that it needs to be. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but two portal guns become one. So now we have access to both portals, which gives us a lot more freedom in how we solve the puzzles. So this game, as I said, was developed by Valve, and it kind of exemplifies what I love about Valve's games. They're just works of art, I guess. They're really creator motivated. They're developer motivated. You know, my understanding from interviews and stuff I've seen about working at Valve, it really, if nobody is excited about making a game, you know, if there's not a certain idea for a game, then Valve just won't make a game. They have no desire to just pump out a game for the sake of creating one and, you know, making money or whatever. Now, of course, that's from a bit of a luxurious position, because with Steam, Valve has more money than God at this point. They don't really need. They don't have an economic pressure to create a bunch of games that other developers do. So there's a difference there, obviously, but it seems like in Valve, you know, if they're not just completely confident in their games they're developing, then they just won't release them. Now, this was quite different back when they were developing anniversary documentary that came out a few months ago. Oh no, my cube. My cube. They had a ton of problems going on when they were developing Half-Life 2, and the company was certainly not guaranteed to succeed. The game was not guaranteed to succeed. The owners, like Gabe Newell, were really putting their own money on the line. And if things had gone a different way, they would have been all financially ruined, basically. There's some pretty engaging stories in that documentary about legal issues and financial struggles and creative decisions and stuff that were being made in that environment. So if you're curious about Half-Life 2, or just the history of Valve, or even just game development and the business side of things interacting, I'd recommend checking out that documentary. So here we are in test chamber 14, and I like these little warning signs they give us, or not warning signs necessarily, but just sort of test elements at the start of each test chamber. And we're moving, pretty quick here. But I've played the game a lot, so I sort of understand I'm trying to slow down a little bit and observe the details, observe the environments. But there's a little bit of autopilot as well. We're just solving the puzzles. If you really want to see some cool stuff, check out some speedruns of this game. The speedrunning community is crazy with Portal. It is just, it's amazing to me the stuff that they do, the speeds that they achieve, and the just the speed and the accuracy with which they manipulate the portal gun. I find it very cool. So we need to get this energy orb back over to the receptacle back in the other room, so we have to build a portal chain, or not a portal chain, just go get the blue portal on the other side. Oops. I didn't realize the wall was right behind me there. I thought I could back up and be out of the range of the energy orb. But apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently not. That's alright. We'll just hop back over and do it again. So, we have that one there. So now we just need to move the blue portal over all the way up these stairs. And right here in this receptacle. And then we just give it a matter of time until it generates a new orb, and there we go. Touching. In Portal 2, oh, look at that, there's a little aperture science symbol on the elevator. Never realized that before. That little segmented circle made of triangles. The little Aperture Science logo. So, in Portal 2, they add a bunch of additional test elements. There's like energy bridges and goo that has various effects, like speed goo and goo that you can put portals on and stuff. Like you'll see, I'm only putting portals on this white material. That's because, like that black square patterned material blocks off portal placement. You cannot place portals there. Now I have a little elevator ride to hop up. And this one, we need to find a way to get through that barrier over there. So maybe if we shoot a portal here, and then another portal there, and we miss the portal, and so we don't do anything, like fools. Let's try that again. There we go. And we can do that one more time. Right through. So, yep, there we go. Now we're thinking with portals, right? You guys remember that? That was I don't even know where that came from. Like, was that a advertising thing or a marketing slogan, or was that just something that people said? Now you're thinking with portals. It was like a little nod to this game, and you had to retrain your brain to think about solving problems with access to the portal gun. Now you're thinking with portals. Alright, this one, we have a button here that opens a door, and we have a button over there. So boom, that's one door. Boom, that's a second door. And now we pop out the orb, and cha-ching, you can actually get yourself stuck in that little tower right here. You fall down at the bottom. You have to just use momentum to sort of fling yourself up and into it before the two doors close. And then GLaDOS yells at you and she unsticks you. I think there's a few different places in the game where you can get yourself stuck. That's just the one that I know about. And then GLaDOS will say a snarky phrase and let you loose. And here's where stuff starts getting a little crazier. You've got that little symbol there of a turret lighting up a person. So let's see what we got. So this is an example of how Valve trains concepts. They have that turret over on the other side of the glass that shoots you. And then they have a turret here that's facing away from you. So you get to see what happens when you're in the red light of the turret, which is the turret will shoot at you. But then you also get the chance to interact with a turret that is relatively non-threatening because it can't see you. And it also teaches you that you're safe from turrets if you're behind them. game designers are, they're very good at teaching concepts, teaching gameplay concepts. I don't remember their rules exactly, but I know if you look at like developer interviews and stuff where they talk about their design philosophies, they have all these notions about how you have to introduce new concepts to players and how to make sure that players understand what you're introducing. Hello, can I help you? What is this? This strange room. The cake is a lie. 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 Of course, we were promised cake when we finish our test. But now here we have this strange, unsettling graffiti claiming the cake is a lie. How ominous. Now, of course, the cake is a lie became quite the internet meme, and I think nowadays it developed I like this frying pan on, looks like a computer. Yeah, what we got in there? Nope, we lost the pan. The cake is a lie. It sort of became a beans, became, I don't know, kind of cringe, I guess. It was sort of this overused capital G gamer phrase, with people who would wear like Legend of Zelda graphic t-shirts or whatever, which I don't mean to be mean, of course. That's not, listen, I've worn my share of graphic t-shirts in my life, so it's not about that, but the cake is a lie did develop a kind of reputation as being associated with that like memey gamer Reddit crowd, so it got a bit of a bad rap. But trying to put aside that association, I think it was cute when the game came out. You're gonna be rewarded with cake at the end of the test, and then you're finding this ominous graffiti that the cake is a lie. Just the contradiction between the silliness of talking, or the low stakes of talking about cake, with the high stakes of being in a deadly environment with, turrets shooting you, and the strange graffiti that seems to be like written in blood or something. So, the portal gun, it gives me vibes of like, I just like putting the turrets in the corner. They're nice, they're not trying to be mean. The portal gun is interesting to me with Valve, because of course they also made and then we've got a broken cube dispenser here, just dropping a big pile of cubes. Because of course Valve also made the gravity gun in Half-Life, and so now in 2 instances they've made this like, oops, I just took a little bullet there. In 2 instances they've made a gun that plays with kind of physics concepts. In Half-Life it's the gravity gun, and here it's the portal gun. makes you think it would be pretty cool if they made a combo gun. The portal gravity gun. You can make portals with it, and you can also, shoot the weighted storage cubes. Oops. Got a little reckless with letting that turret bounce around. They like to shoot off a bunch of bullets when they are deactivated. Let's take this guy with us. Oh no, oh no. The emancipation field just dissolved the turret. And of course the writing in this game is pretty funny. I'm not really focusing on it here, but GLaDOS's lines are very good. I've always liked that one about Android hell, talking about how Android hell is a real place, and bad androids are gonna go there. And here she is, our beautiful companion cube. Our beautiful companion cube. Like a regular cube, but with a pink heart emblazoned on its sides, on its faces. So in this test chamber, we have to use this cube to help solve a variety of challenges. And here we go. We gotta get through this hallway with the little energy ball bouncing around. And they've got this, all these little sections around here that utilize the cube. So here we've got two buttons, one button there, one button here, and it leads to that little energy receptacle thing. So now we need to go find an energy ball. And of course, we know. But what's this? Oh my. Another room. Another hidden room. With graffiti. She's watching you with a camera. I always thought that camera looked like a little ball with two legs and a big cylinder head coming out the top. I don't know how to describe it. That's just what it looked to me as a kid. I didn't know it was actually a camera for a long time. And here we've got objects as alive, and I am not hallucinating. There's a lot of words here that are kind of hard to read. Login, C. Johnson, password, fire 3. People with cube heads. We've got a little calendar here. The girls of Aperture Science. And then a salacious lady there with a cube head. And all these photos, art, and stop watching the earth and them are gone throughout the cube. I thought the And that is what's that guy's name? Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. That's one of his poems. A variation on it, of course. He didn't actually write about a cube. Neither did Emily Dickinson. I like these. Just those red-orange voids that the hydraulics come out of. It's very, surreal and evocative. I really like Emily Dickinson. Oops. This is why you have to watch your portals, guys. You might let a energy ball shoot you in the back. I like Emily Dickinson's poetry. She was a 19th century poet who lived in Massachusetts and kind of lived a very lonely, isolated life. At a certain point, I think she basically stopped even leaving her room. Not a very socially, well-adjusted person, I suppose. But she wrote tons of poems, and she was never published in her lifetime, actually. She never even, I don't think she even tried. I mean, I'm not sure how much she shared her poems with other people, if she showed them to family or whatever, but it was only after her death that somebody, I think it was a couple of her friends, or maybe her sister, found the poems. Somehow they ended up in the hands of a couple of her friends, and those friends got her poems published. And what's kind of interesting is this woman who was getting Emily's poems published, she actually seems to have altered some of the poems. I think in the initial publications, multiple poems. I think there were a number of alterations. But this woman who was, what was it? Was it Emily's brother's wife, maybe? So Emily's sister-in-law. She took out a bunch of references to a woman, who I think was that woman's sister. And the idea is, or anyway, here we are at the furnace where I've been told to euthanize my companion cube. The idea, there's an idea, a theory that, I don't know, there was some kind of, lesbian relationship or something improper with the relationship there that caused this woman to want to try to erase it from the poetry. I'm not an expert on her poems. I couldn't say. Goodbye, companion cube. I can't do it. Oh, I'll do it. Whoa. I fell through the closed grate to my death. I like how you can look around when you're dead in this game. So, yeah, Emily Dickinson, very good poet. I know her stuff because I grew up in Massachusetts, and so hey, there's Jill. So we read a bunch of those New England poets. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Emily Dickinson, Henry Longfellow, Henry David Thoreau, all those folks. must dazzle gradually, or every man be blind. That might be the whole thing. I might be missing a stanza in the middle. Anyway, so yeah, we read a lot of New England poets. Robert Frost, of course. The old, I've eaten the plums that were in the icebox and which you were probably saving for breakfast. They were delicious, so sweet and so cold. I'm butchering it a little bit, but it's something like that. That classic. Wait, is that Robert Frost? Am I going insane? Maybe that's somebody else. Robert Frost is, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled. Anyway, I'm talking a lot about New England poetry in a video that's ostensibly about Bortle, so sorry for the bait and switch. Maybe if you like poetry, you enjoyed the little tangent. Whoa. Alright, not quite enough momentum on that little jump. Guess I have to do it the right way. Go up to the next level. Alright, here we go. Now I'm a little bit higher up, so that should work this time. Yahoo! Yahoo! Alright, we've got turrets here. Turrets to watch out for. Turrets everywhere. And a bouncing ball. A bouncing energy ball. So, if we look at all of the destinations where the turrets are looking, we can easily line up a shot with the, right there we go. We can see the energy ball come out and knock the turrets off their platforms. Like we got one right there. And another one coming out over here. Let's see. Yep, there goes that turret. And oops, gotta get that guy, that last one there. Can I just line it up here? Let's see. Ooh, nope, not quite. But this one, there we go. Alright, so now all the turrets are gone. We can figure out how to get that cube over there. So let's see, we've got a button here. And I can press the button and look, it opens that little panel. So we have to get an energy ball in there. Oops, messed up the placement there a bit. Oh, silly me. I So this will carry us over towards that cube. The unfortunate thing about Valve never making a game is that they never make a game, and I would really like to play more Valve games, you know? A Portal 3 would be sick. I would love to get some more Portal puzzles. But, I don't know. It's like Elder Scrolls 6. It's just not worth thinking about. Like, it's taking so long to see any actual results that it's just not worth considering, because I don't know, in my opinion, why waste the brain power, why waste the energy on something that you have no control over? And it's one thing if, like, you know, you're like, oh man, I really can't wait for the next Assassin's Creed game, or, you know, the next Call of Duty game. It's like, well, okay, that's not a big deal, you know, there'll be another one in, you know, a year at the most, depending on when you're saying that. But when it comes to something like Half-Life 3 or, you know, some other game that's just maybe never even gonna come out, you can't torture yourself just thinking about it all the time. Alright, so we got that cube to step through, and this, I believe, is the second to last chamber, right? Oh no, we have to get up. Yeah, we have to do this big jumping thing, and I think there's one more chamber after that. So we go, I got a little confused there. Okay. Gotta go. Wee. And then shoot one there, and then wee. Then shoot one there. Yahoo! 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 Okay, I think sometimes the camera, trying to manipulate the camera, this part always gets me a little shaky. It's like very hard to reorient yourself quick enough to figure it out. There we go. Alrighty. One more test chamber, and then we get to have our cake. Then we get to have our cake. Our cake. Portal 2 was a very good sequel to this game, in my opinion. 19 out of 19. Oh, look. Our cake symbol is all lit up. Our reward for all of our hardship. So, this final challenge is riding on this little lift and dealing with a series of challenges as they appear. Yeah, Portal 2, obviously, the thing about Valve games, too, is that because of how highly regarded they are, they have very big shoes to fill, and, oh, I gotta focus. Valve games have a very big shoes to fill because of how good each of their games are, and so I'm sure there's a ton of pressure on them as developers. I mean, Half-Life 3 at this point it's gonna be the most looked at game in history, which I 3, like the amount of criticism that's immediately going to be directed at it, the number of eyes that are going to be looking at it would be terrifying. So, that being said, I think they've done a very good job on their sequels, and they haven't disappointed me, certainly. Cake time, yay. We're finally here. What's this? What's going on? Where's the cake? I just see a giant bit of fire. Oh no. Goodbye. Goodbye. That's ominous. Surely we're not gonna be killed here. Oh no, if only there was some way to escape this trap. But if this is what the Enrichment Center wants from us, then I suppose we're just gonna have to confront our fate with dignity. So, down we go, into the flames. Never actually seen where this lift goes. Does it just sink into the water? Oh, it goes straight down. Interesting. Alright, well, that is Portal. The Enrichment Center testing portion completed as GLaDOS intended, with us being burned to a crisp in the fire. Maybe that's the title for the video. Completing Portal as GLaDOS intended or something. Alright, well, there's obviously a second half to the game. Maybe we can do that someday. But for now, my friends, thank you for hanging out with